Hey, what's up, everybody? For this video, I want to give my thoughts on Edge and the abrupt retirement. I think this is a really big deal, and I think Edge is, one of the most important wrestlers of the last decade. So I really think this is, it's something that I think hit a lot of his heart. And especially because I still see Edge as like a young guy. It's just really tough to take. Some of these guys that, you really feel like they had a lot more to contribute to the business. The careers are just ending, so abruptly. It's pretty tough to swallow, but. I just want to say that whole moment on Raw, I really, I kind of have mixed feelings on it. I mean, it was an awesome moment. I was really happy about a lot of things, but at the same time, it kind of leaves you scratching your head about the side effects of those neck surgeries that took place in the early stages of the 2000s before Kurt Angle got his surgery. And but I'll talk more about that later. But yeah, that moment on Raw, it really, they really did a good job of teasing it. Like you thought maybe this was going to set up, an Alberto Del Rio interruption or Triple H coming out. I don't know. I figured something would happen. But when Edge started talking, it was just like, holy shit! I can't believe this is actually happening. It just came off 100% legit. And I thought it was an awesome moment because when Edge, brought up the whole wheelchair thing, it was kind of like time stood still for a couple seconds. You could feel everyone in the audience took it all in, and you could kind of see Edge's like life just flashing before your eyes, and the whole all the tragedies that happened over the last couple of years. You could just see it, and it was just like, wow, let's just appreciate this guy while he's still alive. And it was just like, boom, he just got that standing ovation. Edge started crying. It was just an awesome moment, and at the same time, you got to feel happy. You got to feel happy for Edge that he's still alive and he's going to go out on his own terms as the champion. Um, in regards to Edge's well-being, it was a phenomenal moment, in a lot of ways. But at the same time, it's like, why is this happening? What really went wrong to cause this to happen? And I don't know. I guess that those, just bear with me for 1 second. I just want to talk about the neck surgery. Because I know Edge got his neck surgery in 2003, and he got the same type of surgery that Austin and Benoit got. He actually went for a fusion of the neck, um, and I don't know. I guess that neck surgery really didn't really cure anything. I know Angle talked about how if you really did get that surgery, you wouldn't have full range of motion in the neck. So that's why Angle avoided getting it and actually went to the doctor in Pittsburgh who did the minimally invasive neck surgery, and he didn't have to get his neck fused. So I'm thinking that maybe Benoit and Austin, they must have been in a lot of pain, especially Benoit. You have to look back to the whole Benoit tragedy, and Benoit was the type of guy. Jericho talked about this time and time out. Benoit really didn't have anything else to fall back on, so I'm sure like his neck must have just been killing him. I'm sure that like the doctor was giving him all types of medication, to numb the pain and all that stuff. So, I mean, this is another thing to think about. You got to keep in mind that Benoit had the same neck surgery that Edge had, and maybe it was really bad with him as well. And I know Austin, I mean, at the time Austin blamed walking out of the WWE on the creative staff, but if you guys remember some of the articles that came out later on, he talked about how his neck was really killing him, and he didn't want to go out on national TV and just announce his retirement like that. So you got to give Edge credit for having the balls just to go out the way he did. I guess because of Austin's character, how he was portrayed as such a badass. I guess maybe that's why he didn't want to go out and just tell the world he had to call it quits. But yeah, but I mean, you can't. I mean, you got to feel happy for Edge that that everything's okay. That he made the right decision, and you got to credit WWE for obviously it seems like they made him go through extra testing just to make sure another tragedy did not happen. So yeah, um, but I don't know. Thinking about Edge's career, I mean, where do you think it all went wrong? I mean, you look at some of the TLC matches. I mean, Jeff Hardy's still okay as far as health goes. Matt Hardy's all right. Dudley's are okay. Christian's still pretty good. So I don't know. I really don't know if the TLC matches really took that much of a toll on Edge's body, because you look at some of those matches, it seemed like Jeff Hardy and the Hardys and even the Dudleys took harder bumps than Edge did. Um, so I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking that you really have to go to 2002 when SmackDown was having those, tremendous matches, and they were wrestling at such a fast-paced style. They were just suplexing each other on top of each other's heads every single night. I don't know. Maybe that's. I mean, I love SmackDown at that time, but you gotta think about the toll that those matches took on their bodies. I mean, Angle and Benoit were just going crazy at the time. They were Germans suplexing each other every single night at the house shows as well. If you bought one of the UK house shows, they actually released them on DVD. They were going just as hard on that show as they were on SmackDown. And you got to keep in mind, Edge and Rey Mysterio, they were working with Angle and Benoit every single week. And when Edge had to get the neck surgery, it was that same year. So you gotta keep in mind, the amount of damage that was taken on Edge's neck from all those German suplexes. Now, I think Angle and Benoit were going crazy with the German suplexes. I remember Edge even said on Bite This, and when he comes back, he doesn't want to take a million German suplexes every single match. So yeah, but yeah, and thinking about Edge right now, you got to think about Kurt Angle as well, because I know Angle didn't have the exact type of neck surgery that Edge had. Edge had the fusion, which was really, really tough to come back from. But Angle actually got the, like I said, Angle got the type of surgery where he would have full range of motion in his neck. They didn't really dig into it the way they did with Edge. So, but at the same time, you got to keep in mind that Angle's always had problems with his arms going out on him, and not being able to feel anything in his arms and neck. So yeah, we just got to hope that Angle's okay. Maybe it's time for Angle to call it quits too before something really bad happens. So I don't know. It's just and like think about Benoit as well. Like no one talks about how fucked up Benoit's neck was. Everyone wants to talk about the painkillers and the depression with the Eddie Guerrero situation. But you got to keep in mind, Benoit had a terrible neck, and wow, just really, really, all this stuff just kind of hits you really hard. But yeah, I'm just happy that Edge got out while he's still okay. But yeah, let me just touch on Edge's career. If any of you guys want me to do like a top 25 matches of Edge's career, then let me know. Maybe I'll do it depending on the feedback. If you guys really want me to do it, but yeah, Edge has had a wonderful career. I mean, people talk about they didn't really see Edge as a main eventer until the Undertaker feud in 2008. I kind of disagree with that. Like, personally for me, I saw Edge as a main eventer. Like, I would say after the Kurt Angle feud in 2002, I felt like that feud with Angle really brought Edge up to that next level. Like, I took him seriously. I felt like Edge could beat anyone at any given night for the championship. I think the Cena feud did a lot for Edge as well. Now, people say that maybe Cena should have done a better job of putting over Edge, and I kind of agree to a certain extent. I feel like the WWE really dropped the ball on the main event of WrestleMania 22. I felt like that was Edge's time. They had such a hot storyline going there with Edge and Lita versus John Cena. You kind of had like the Attitude Era versus the PG, the new era of John Cena. I just thought at WrestleMania 22 that would have been the perfect time to capitalize on that main event. I really feel like those guys should have main evented that show. And I just want to say when Edge cashed in the Money in the Bank on Cena, that was probably my favorite moment ever. I think that was one of the best markout moments ever. Just wow. I mean, I can't tell. At the time, I can't tell you how excited everyone was. The Edge finally, it was just so well done. That's all I could pretty much say about it. But yeah, but I don't know. Like it seemed like, as far as Edge's career goes, it seemed like they really, like, for the first couple title reigns, it seemed like they really took it away from him too soon all the time. A lot of it was just to make Cena look good, and then obviously they wanted to go with Cena and Triple H at WrestleMania. But really, I guess it really wasn't until the Undertaker feud and when they moved Edge over to SmackDown that he officially became the guy. But I feel like they could have done a lot more with Edge, while he was hot. When Edge was with Lita, I felt like he should have been built up more as like a top heel of the company. That's just me, but yeah, but I don't know. I feel like he could have done a lot more with Christian. I think the Edge versus Christian feud, could have been phenomenal. I would have liked to see Edge and Christian, reunite and win the tag team championships again. This is a lot more I think Edge could have done. But at the same time, now it's this opens the door up for Christian. Hopefully, Christian could step in Edge's position and just fill in that void now. So we'll see what happens there. But this is a very very I have a lot of mixed feelings about this because now I'm starting to think about Angle and his health. Some of those for as much as we love SmackDown back in 2002, I mean I think you guys have to agree those matches really took a toll on everyone. And the thing is, you got to keep in mind, they were doing it at the house shows as well. Like, from what I saw, I don't think they really slowed it down at all. So, yeah, and I agree with Crazy Mike. I feel like, WWE needs to really limit the amount of house shows. And, as much as you want to blame the style, I mean, most people would say it's not really the, it's not really the style of what am I trying to say? It's not really the grueling pace that you're going to go at. It's more of like the generic house show bumps. It seems like that's what takes its toll on these guys more than anything. Just the constant generic bumps. So I don't know. I think 5 days a week is a little bit too much. If I was Vince, I would have the guys wrestle maybe 2-3 nights a week maximum. I just think it'd benefit everyone just a lot more. Because that's what indie guys do. I mean, they work maybe Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday. And then the rest of the week they pretty much do whatever and train. So yeah, just a so I just want to say thank you, Edge, for everything. You had a phenomenal career. I mean, you pretty much, arguably a better career than Jericho, and maybe just as good of a career as Triple H and guys like that, because you pretty much had it all covered. You wrestled the tag matches. You were the Intercontinental Champion several times. 11-time World Heavyweight Champion, King of the Ring. I mean, it could go on and on and on with Edge's career, and all-around great performer as well. Great on the mic, live sex celebrations with Lita. Yeah, I think that Edge and Lita stable, when Edge and Lita were together, they were just so awesome. You just felt like they really brought a lot of life to the WWE in 2006 when it was really starting to get stale. Edge really, I feel like Edge was the MVP of 2006 and really saved Raw, and was the when he won the championship, the ratings went up. It was the highest rated champion in Raw in a very, very long time. So, but yeah, like I would say that Edge's series of matches with Kurt Angle, I feel like that's what really put him over the top. I just want to make that clear. I feel like the Edge and Cena feud, to me, like they were kind of like at the same time. I feel like they were really trying to make a name for themselves at the same time. I didn't feel like really one was above the other, because at the time Cena was still a fresh main eventer. He was still trying to prove himself, and so was Edge. So I can't really say that Cena. If anything, I think Edge really gave Cena more of a rub. I really feel like that really benefited Cena more than it did Edge, because Edge was more of a veteran. I think Edge was a little bit more established at the time. So, but I think the Undertaker feud definitely, I would agree, it kind of solidified Edge as kind of like a WWE icon. But I felt like Edge really could have won the belt on any given night after the feud with Angle. He shaved Angle's head. He beat him in the steel cage match. Angle did a beautiful job putting him over. So we'll give Kurt Angle credit there. But yeah, just want to thank Edge for a wonderful career. That's pretty much it. If you guys, like I said, if you guys want me to do the top 25 Edge matches of all time, I'll gladly do it. It should be pretty fun to put together. But let me know if you want me to release it. So, all right, guys, take it easy.